Have you ever wondered how planning a wedding might be different the second time round? And why does it feel like such a touchy topic sometimes? Almost like the couple and their guests need to pretend the first marriage didn't even happen. And I've also seen it go way too far in the other direction when the groom's vows included more about his ex-wife than the bride he was about to marry. So incredibly awkward. So, what unique challenges do couples face when they're getting married for the second time? And how can they create a day that they're really happy with? Today, we're going to explore exactly that. I'll talk about why second marriage weddings feel, to me at least, like they're more common than ever, what makes them so unique, and how you can approach planning with sensitivity, clarity, and yes, even joy. Whether you're planning your own second wedding, helping a friend, or just curious about the topic, this episode is packed with insights, anecdotes, and practical tips to help make the experience as stress-free and as beautiful as possible. So stay tuned to learn how to honor your past while fully embracing your new beginning, how to blend families with love and intention, and how to build a bloody celebration that's truly about you and your partner. Let's get stuck into it. Unbridely is a community of pro-wedding vendors who believe in freedom and integrity in weddings, giving you options, solutions, tips and tricks to create the experience and memories that you and your fiancé really want and deserve. Because we believe that weddings are a team sport. With how-tos, stories and interviews with recently married couples, we find out what went right and what they'd change if they could go back and do it all over again. I'm Camille, and welcome to the Unbridely podcast. This is a topic that's close to the hearts of many of my couples, that of planning a wedding for a second marriage. And I've only just realised when I press record that it's also a topic that's close to my heart. Not because my marriage is in trouble, Matt and I are great, but because Matt's parents are divorced and my parents are divorced. And while Matt's parents didn't remarry, my parents did, and I was actually at both of my parents' weddings. I was quite young for both of them, so I don't have really detailed memories of how they went about planning their weddings and what happened. But I do recall my mum choosing a beautiful white linen dress for me that had these crisp pleats, had to be pressed like all hell. And then she made me just, wander around the house in my underwear because I couldn't be trusted to put the dress on and not get it all crinkled. And then when she decided it was time for me to put the dress on, I got hungry. And I thought I did good because I was eating the toast like over the sink, like so it wouldn't get on me. But yeah, Mum still wasn't too pleased. So I do remember that because I was her, I guess, like junior bridesmaid. I was probably only about 12, so I wasn't old enough to be a bridesmaid. I do remember getting to hold her flowers. My mum's pretty direct. My directness hasn't sort of sprung out of nowhere. So, yeah, Mum is, she's a force to be reckoned with. But I have this very distinct recollection of being excited to go with her to the hairdressing salon to get our hair like blow-dried, prepared, set, whatever, for the wedding. And I had a beautiful sort of 80s style blow-dry. It was great. My hair was super short. It was full of volume. It was great. And Mum just wanted soft curls, right? Her hair's down below her shoulders and she goes, just soft curls. I don't want them really tight. And she tried to warn the hairdresser that her hair really takes curls quickly. I don't know what you call that, but you only have to put a little bit of heat treatment on Mum's hair and it will just spring into a different shape. It's really quite magical. Anyway, the hairdresser goes, trust me, love, I've got it. So she wrapped her up in really small rollers and left her there for ages. And Mum was just getting more and more furious. And I turn around with my beautiful blow dry and, the rollers have been taken out. And she looked like, like how poodles' hairs, like really, really small curls. And the look of like, I thought she's going to kill the hairdresser. I thought she's not going to get to her wedding because she's going to kill the hairdresser and we'll have to go on the road. That's what was going through my head. Somehow she left the hairdresser without killing her. And we were in this VL Commodore, very fancy. It was Mum's wedding car. I don't think we put the ribbon on yet, but anyway, she goes, get in the back seat, Camille. And I'm like, why? Why? What did I do wrong? She goes, I need you to help with my hair. And I'm like, you just had your hair done. And she goes, well, we have to fix it now. So Mum asked me to pull her hair through that upside down plastic U-shaped headrest and comb my fingers through it, trying to get the curl out because she looked ridiculous. So I guess my message from those stories is don't mess with my mum, but also just how much a person who's getting married second time round knows what they want. They know what they need. They're not fucking around. So whether it's you, a friend, or a loved one who is starting out on this journey, understanding the unique needs and sensitivities involved is key to making the day as stress-free and as meaningful as possible. And our friends over at the Australian Bureau of Statistics have data to back up the feeling that I've had that second marriages are really quite common. So in 2021, approximately 10.8% of marriages were between couples where both partners had been married before. And so they were stepping into married life again, both embracing a fresh start, plus an additional 14.9%, let's say 15%, involved one partner entering into their second marriage, while for the other, it was for the first. So that's over a quarter of all marriages being where at least one partner has been previously married. These numbers highlight just how common and important second marriages are in today's society. I can tell you from my experience as a celebrant for over 1,000 couples, second marriage weddings hit different to other weddings. And I believe they need to be approached a bit differently as well. Second marriages come with a unique blend of excitement and complexity. What's important to understand is that couples entering into second marriage weddings are often older. They know themselves and their priorities better. My mum. So there's less pressure to conform to traditional expectations or to impress everyone with this big grand event. It shifts the whole game. The focus tends to move away from extravagance or elaborate traditions to smaller groups of people, intimacy, meaningful moments, blending families in a way that honors everyone's experiences. There's usually more emphasis on celebrating the couple's journey as it stands now, rather than creating that picture-perfect, once-in-a-lifetime fairy tale kind of story. This shift means second weddings can feel way more relaxed, but also they require more sensitivity, especially when it comes to family dynamics and emotional histories. When I speak to many of my couples, they say that their second wedding felt very different from their first, and not just in the scale, like the number of guests, not just in the cost, but in intent. Several of my brides over the years have also confided in me how they and their partner chose to focus the day on bringing together of their blended family rather than on customs. And on top of this, many other soon-to-be weds have told me about the relief, the pure relief they felt when they were planning their second marriage wedding, because they could skip the things that they once felt like they were expected to do, that you really should, and instead they got to do what they wanted. So how can you approach planning a second marriage wedding thoughtfully? First up, you've got to acknowledge and come to peace with the emotional landscape, whatever it is. As much as your wedding day is a new chapter, it's also pretty common, fairly natural, I would say, for memories and feelings from past relationships to surface. And whether that's accompanied by joy, grief, or even anxiety, I think it's really important to give yourself and your partner space to process those feelings. You might need to do it separately and then together, and please consider seeking support from a counselor, from a therapist, from someone who you can trust for relationship advice and to be a mediator if you need it. I really should highlight, I am not a psychologist. I'm not a relationship expert. I have just married a lot of people in relationships. So if you do need some help, this advice that I'm giving on the podcast is just for information only. Please seek out someone reputable, someone who understands you, someone who lets you talk to process these feelings in a professional setting if you need it. Did you know that most newlyweds spend up to 8 hours of their precious time working through changing their last name after they get married? This is where easy name change comes in. Their kits provide you with a sort of shopping list of businesses, companies and government departments where you simply pick which ones you need to notify. They then send you detailed instructions on how to go about the name change process because every business is different, and this saves you hours of calling around, waiting on hold, sending emails, waiting for a response, and then remembering to follow up when you don't hear back from them. Easy name change kits also provide ready-to-send forms, letters and emails, so you just attach your marriage certificate to them and you're done. Starting at $39, the value and time you get back is a no-brainer. For more help on changing your name after you get married, there is an excellent blog post on the Unbridely website, and I'll put a link in the show notes for you. Plus, Unbridely podcast listeners get a $6 discount on their name change kits by using the code Unbridely6. That's UNBRIDELY 6, the number 6, and this is valid until the end of 2025. Get your easy name change kit so you can move on to the fun parts of being grown-ups together, like holidays, getting a dog, building a house, herb gardens. Next, communication is everything. This is the moment to openly discuss with your fiancé your hopes, your boundaries, and even your concerns as well. Sometimes the best sentence starter is, my biggest fear is, what I want most is. If children or ex-spouses are part of the picture, it's smart. As long as the relationship is healthy, as long as everyone is feeling positive, involving them in appropriate conversations early on means that you can set clear roles for family members. It might be like having children participate in the ceremony as ring bearers, flower kids, bubble blowers, readers, or, as wedding party members, like I was a junior bridesmaid. Doing this can help everyone feel included and valued, and it can also help to ease any potential tension. Blending families is often the heart of the second marriage wedding, especially the ceremony, and creating new rituals can symbolize that weaving together of your unique family. It can make everyone feel valued and special, which is exactly what you want to need. In episode 112, I got through and shared 8 meaningful ways to include blended family in your wedding ceremony. And so, there's lots of ideas there for you to include your children, their children, stepchildren, half-brothers or sisters, whatever it might be, to make the important people, the stakeholders of your relationship, feel special. And believe it or not, guest lists can also be even more stressful for couples having a second wedding, especially if you have mutual friends or family who attended the first wedding. But remember, this is your day. It is okay, and I would highly encourage you to set boundaries around invitations and involvement so that your celebration feels comfortable and authentic to both you and your fiancé. When it comes to wedding presents, gifts, or wedding registry, a lot of couples having a second marriage wedding find that they've got the practical household essentials, that are more commonly gifted at a first marriage wedding, and they're a little bit older. So they have already bought, they have accumulated, they've pulled together most of the things that they need to set up their life. So instead of traditional household gifts, in inverted commas, couples often request contributions to shared experiences like travel, honeymoon, of course, or home improvements, or even charitable donations that reflect their values. And on a purely practical level, setting boundaries with ex-spouses or extended family members early, respectfully and firmly, can help to protect your peace and happiness, because there's always those who won't take no for an answer. And I bet you're thinking of them right now. I bet you know exactly who the potential troublemakers could be. So consider appointing a trusted close friend or a coordinator to help mediate and reduce the stress. You've got the lead up to the wedding, which, things can happen then, and on the day too. Having someone who knows the background of this tense relationship and your limits, who's not you, will save you from conflict time and time again. And while there's no magic wand, so to speak, it's truly the best you can do to be prepared to enjoy your day and let everyone else do what they need to do. And lastly, budget thoughtfully. A lot of couples choose to invest more in things that enrich their future together when they're doing a second marriage wedding. So financial planning can come up. Counselling, like I said, it might be a dream honeymoon rather than on extravagant wedding details that, to be fair, often don't last longer than the day itself. You might have amazing photography, but you might not want to drop coin on wedding favours, a lot of decor items, or the second or third wedding dress. Planning a second marriage wedding is both an opportunity and a challenge. The key is to honour your past while fully celebrating your present love story. It's about creating a ceremony and celebration that reflects your shared values, the realities of your blended family, and the unique excitement of starting again. So my final tips and strategies for second marriage weddings are, number 1, communication is key. Honest conversations with your fiancé, kids, and any involved exes or family members sets the tone right from the beginning. Number 2, personalize your ceremony. Don't just let it run past really quick. Dig in. Creative rituals, family vows, just giving any important people a role, however small, helps to celebrate your new blended family. Number 3, keep it real. There is no need, absolutely none, whether it's a first or second wedding for that matter, to follow traditions that you don't like. This day is about you for once. Non-traditional venues, surprise events, or even a private ceremony, an elopement can be just as meaningful. Number 4, set boundaries with those ex-spouses or extended family and protect your peace by clearly communicating who you want involved and how. And number 5, be budget-wise. Second marriage weddings are a great chance to skip the excess and channel those resources into building your new life together. So I hope some of these thoughts have helped you in planning maybe more practical steps of your second marriage wedding, or perhaps support someone you know who is. Remember, this wedding is about what matters most to both of you, which is a beautiful place to start. Please tell me your experiences with second marriage weddings, what you did, where you went, how it went down. You can DM me at Unbridely. And until next week, celebrate your people. That about wraps it up for this episode of the Unbridely podcast. For the links and resources we mentioned, please head to the show notes. And if you love the show, please review and subscribe on the podcast platform you're on now so you don't miss out on a single episode. Thanks so much for listening. And remember, weddings are a team sport. Catch you soon.